Hello YouTube, B3 here, back another kicking graphic novel review. Got a fun one for you today. Another Rebirth book, current continuity, etc. With my boy Soups. Yes, I know this action figure is Superboy Prime. You do not have to tell me. I don't have a Superman action figure out and about right now, so give me a break. Lots of my DC stuff is packed away. So, yeah, Man of Steel, the 2018 book. Brian Michael Bendis. Yeah, he came from Marvel to DC to do Superman. Hell to the yeah. I'm going to read you the back of the book and then we can talk about it. So, superstar writer Brian Michael Bendis makes his DC Comics debut with a bold new vision of the world's greatest superhero. The last son of Krypton is about to meet his home planet's nemesis. A remorseless killer called Rogal Zar has arrived on Earth, bringing wide-scale death and destruction in his wake. Only Superman and his cousin Supergirl stand between Zar and the completion of his mission, the complete annihilation of the Kryptonian race. But even as Kal-El and Kara struggle to contain this new existential threat, the Man of Tomorrow faces a completely different challenge in his adopted home city of Metropolis, where Clark Kent still lives and works, but without his wife and son. The stage is set for a reckoning like nothing Superman has ever faced, and everything that matters to the Man of Steel hangs in the balance. After revolutionizing superhero storytelling in such classic titles as Ultimate Spider-Man, Daredevil, and New Avengers, acclaimed comics author Brian Michael Bendis brings that same magic to the DC universe of this explosive new Superman saga featuring the work of some of comics' greatest artists involving Jose Luis Garcia. I'm a big fan, by the way. Lopez. I forgot to mention the Lopez, but yeah, I just interrupted myself. Ivan Reis, another huge fan. Jason Fabok, huge fan. Ethan Dog, Shenner, Steve Rode, Ryan Sook, Kevin McGuire, and Adam Hughes. The Man of Steel by Brian Michael Bendis marks the beginning of an amazing new era for this tireless defender of truth and justice. So this kicked off a new run on Superman, because there was the regular Rebirth Superman, which I still haven't finished reviewing all of Rebirth Superman. I will. I gotta get the Superman Imperious Lex next, which is Volume 6. So I'm actually skipping that and going straight to this. Sorry. But it's because I got this on Kindle. Like, almost right when it came out. Maybe a day or two after. Maybe like the day after it came out. But, it's good. Art's great. Story's good. I enjoyed it. Bendis, good job. I'm not sure exactly what it means for Superman going forward, though, because I'm not reading the single issues. I'm reading the trades. I have to wait months for the trades to come out because I'm not reading a part of it every month. You know how comics work. I don't have to tell you. But this villain that's in this book has a grudge against Krypton for some unknown reason, and it's like warping his view of what Krypton was doing to the universe. So he claims he destroyed Krypton himself, simply because Kryptonians lived there. Destroyed Krypton, went into hiding. Hey Naughty, you want to go up there? Woo! Destroyed Krypton, went into hiding, and then when he found out there were Kryptonians on Earth, went to Earth to kill them. He kicks Superman's ass. He kicks Superman's ass! Green Lantern tries to help, and eventually the whole Justice League tries to help, and he has Supergirl at his side as well. Supergirl's actually the one who beats, what's his name? Rogal Zar in this book. She's the one that beats him, not Superman. Kara beats him, but she zaps him into the Phantom Zone, which is it makes sense that Superman didn't do that, because in the Action Comics run, the Rebirth Action Comics run, Superman said he didn't want to use the Phantom Zone anymore because it's not good for the mental health of the people that he puts in there, because he only puts the biggest threats in there, right? But then they become like crazy while they're in there, because they're isolated and alone, and they just think about getting vengeance on him, and they just become even worse. That's what happened to Zod. It was starting to happen to Cyborg Superman. So no more Phantom Zone, really. But Kara was like, fuck it, throw him in there. And I know that seems like Superman couldn't beat a villain, just throw him in the Phantom Zone. What a cliche way to end the book. Not quite. I thought that at first when I read it, I was like, the Phantom Zone, really? You're going to use that old cop-out? But then I thought about it, and this villain is obviously going to be like the big bad or something of this whole run, because they didn't reveal why this villain hated Krypton. They didn't give us a definitive answer over what exactly happened to Krypton. He claims he destroyed it. We know Krypton was destroyed, and it does really seem like he actually did do it. But we need more details. Apparently he claimed to personally know Jor-El. There's a lot to this villain that has yet to be revealed as far as the trades go. So I cannot wait for Brian Michael Bendis' Volume 1 for his Superman run. It's going to be fun, I think. I think this is going to be a good run. But there is one big complaint I have for this book. Lois and John are gone. So Jor-El, aka Mr. Oz, shows up at their house and is like, hey, I want my grandson to be well-versed in the galaxies. I want him to grow up to his full potential, etc., etc. He has some other... He's 10. That's a man in Kryptonian culture. So I want to take him to see the galaxy. Lois and Clark are like, no. But John really wants to go for many reasons. One, he wants to get to know his grandfather. 2, he wants to become more powerful so he can help people. And 3, he wants to avoid the alternate future that he saw where he killed millions of people with his solar flare blast. He wants to avoid that alternate future that he saw. That might have been in Super Sons of Tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not caught up on my Super Sons. Sorry. Oh, she's so cute. Look at this cute kitty. Ooh. But, eventually it seems like John's going to go whether he gets his parents' permission or not. So Lois was like, I'll go with you. I'll go with you. I have a 2-book deal. I didn't know what I was going to do for my second book, but now I found a way to write it. I think that's kind of dumb, personally. Lois wants to write a book about traveling in space with a Kryptonian. Like, you might as well just tell people you're fucking Superman, right? Like, how are you going to explain that away to people? Or maybe she'll just write a sci-fi book. I don't fucking know. I don't know what Lois is going to do. They just needed to get an excuse to get her out of there. I feel like Bendis doesn't want them around. John and Lois, they left. And Superman's, like, torn up about it because he's all lonely. I mean, she didn't, like, leave him. Like, relationship-wise. They're still married. And they're still on good terms with each other. Happily married. But she and John left, and he's all alone in his house, and he's sad, and he can't talk to anyone about it because no one knows he's Superman. Okay. And the people that try to help him, he won't let help him, because Hal tried to talk to him about it, and then he just flew away. So, if Bendis... The first thing Bendis does is get rid of Lois and John. And I said this in every single Rebirth Superman review I've done. I've said this in every single Action Comics review I've done. I've said this in all the Rebirth Superman books I've talked about and everything. Lois and John are the best thing to happen to Superman comics ever. Ever. Having a family makes Superman more relatable instantly. It makes him more vulnerable. It's hard finding his weaknesses for a character like Superman. Having a human wife and a half-human son, that's a pretty big weakness. And it gives him someone to talk to in his books. Less inner monologue, and then more natural-feeling exposition. That's nice. Comics are known for bad exposition, but when you have a family that's constantly around, exposition is not as bad. That family's the best damn thing that ever happened to Superman. Both physically, emotionally, and story-wise. And Bendis just chucks it out the fucking window. Hopefully they'll be back really soon in the Superman run. I don't know, but it seems like he was really shoving them out the door. Like he did not want them there. And that kind of pisses me off. Lois and John are the best part of the fucking Superman book. I love Superman as a character, but he needs them to stay relevant, I think. He needs them. And then there's also a side story about all these arsons that are happening and no one can figure out how. And then a witness, like a kid, comes forward and says he saw Superman lighting the fires. So maybe we'll get like, I don't know where that's headed, but it might be pretty cool. So that's it. This was a good book. It's a good story. The thing that really pisses me off though is Lois and John are gone. It seems like, and I know they can't be gone for too long because you got the current Super Sons book. Like they were on the second Super Sons title. They got like revamped it a little bit. I don't know, and I just don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on yet with them, but I hope they come back very, very soon. I don't want them gone for a while. Maybe they'll come back and John will have a better control of his powers so he can fight alongside his dad more. I would really like that. But all in all, thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And that is it. Thank you all once again. Next time, what do you want to do next time, huh? What book you want to do next time? How about... Here, I just read this one right before I made these videos. Batman and Robin, Batman Reborn. We'll do that next time. Grant Morrison, Dick Grayson, Batman. Good stuff. So that's it. Thank you all once again for your support, and I'll see you all later.